Ṣẹ̀rú. Ó wá sáyé, ọmọ ọba ni kò ṣẹ̀rú. Ó wá sáyé, kò ṣẹ̀wọ̀n.
Ó yá akéde, mo fẹ́ délé bàbá tó bí lọ́mọ.
Ọmọ ọba ni kò
Bàbá
ṣẹ̀rú.
mi ò gbànígbà ní ojú ọ̀nà ó ṣe gbámú. Òsán gírí lágírí, ọ̀la gírí kàkà.
Ọmọ ọba ni
Àkókò
kò
àrẹ́rẹ́
ṣẹ̀rú.
bàbá mi ò wọ kẹfẹ̀rẹ̀ jìjọ. Jàkúmọ́ lòdì ọ̀rọ̀, apálá ti jó tọ̀hún tọ̀hún.
Hello, everyone. Welcome again to another month. We always have this session each month, but unfortunately, last month we couldn't have it. But we are here again this month in June with our grassroots movement. As always, we have incredible panelists that will join us to help us to mentor people that want to get into tech, especially into Microsoft. So without any further ado, I will just bring out our lovely audience into the screen. So we already have Sir David, we have Sir Sheyi, Olana, and also Raphael is also at the backstage. So hello guys, welcome to another edition of our Grassroot.
Hello, Sakofi. Good to be here again. So good to see everyone.
Yeah, lovely to see you all. It's been a while. I hope you are all keeping well.
Yep, yeah. Doing. I mean, from my end, I think everything has been going okay. You know, obviously, I know that it's not. You know, I don't have the same type of lifestyle that you have, but you know, I'm working towards.
So, Olana, how's it going at your end? I hope you're also having a
Very
wonderful.
very well. So I think I'm also going to follow suit. We don't have the same lifestyle yet, but you know, we're trying
We'll
to
get
keep it
there
together.
one day.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
wondering
wonder-
what sort of lifestyle you guys are talking about.
Yeah, you know,
Don't
I
worry,
can talk
when
about.
we get there, we'll let you know.
Well, by God's grace, I mean, we are all doing well. I mean, health is more important than anything. So
Absolutely.
I believe our audience will be excited to see us all here. So Raphael, how are you? How are you doing? I think Raphael, can you hear me?
I don't know if you're talking to me, but I'm doing great. It's a pleasure to be with you guys. I'm seeing a lot of familiar. It's good to
Absolutely.
be here.
All right, so it's wonderful. Seshay, I think Seshay earlier was having an issue with his mic, so I'm not sure if it's still the same issue. Yeah, okay. So why are we here? So I know we always go through the same kind of like process, but I'll throw it out to you guys. Olana, I mean, after you, why are we here today?
Well, so we're here to talk about a very interesting subject, which is mentorship. And there is, you know, a lot of opinions out there, and there are a lot of different ways to mentor a lot of people out there. And basically, we just want to know from professionals, those who have the experience, we want to know from them how to really go about this. There are a lot of troubles that a lot of young tech enthusiasts face. So we want to learn from people who have been in the industry for a long time, right? Okay, so what are these challenges? How have you been able to deal with them? How have you grown to where you are currently? So these are some of the things we'll be discussing, so that those of us out there who are still trying to climb up the ladder would know how we can basically just get there at the end of the day. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. So I think Seshay is still having some issues with the audio. So I'm just going to bring out the other slides. One moment. Let's see.
Hi, Deji. So we have Deji here already.
Yeah, Deji is in town. Hello, Deji. How you
Hi,
doing?
Yeah.
In a
good
while.
evening. How are you doing?
Yeah, we're doing well as well. Yeah, I
Wow,
think
I'm
we got
excited to be here today. Well done.
absolutely. Yeah.
So actually, Deji is one of the people that I look forward to hearing from because Deji has done a lot in the tech community, and just like myself, I'm sure a lot of people out there would want to know how did you do it? How did you work your way from bottom to the top, and how can we get to where you are currently? So that is our topic. That is a subject of discussion, and I look forward from you and the rest of our guests.
So no problem. So I'm ready.
All right. So I think before we begin, we just want to give a shout out to our sponsors. Microsoft has been one of their wonderful sponsors for this program, and we are grateful for such a wonderful sponsorship. And I think one of the things we also do as well is that we will probably go around to introduce our host so that even though people that have been joining know the host already, we just want as the new guys that are actually joining for the first time to also know the host and who they can actually reach out to if they need any sort of like help. So without any further ado, I will think probably we'll start with Olana. Olana, can you introduce yourself?
Hi everyone. So my name is Olana Ogbena. I work with an consulting currently, Rocky Business Solutions. I work as a data analyst engineer. So I currently head my team of about recent. I was going to say we're about 8 women in my team, but we had like one guy join in just about 2 days ago. Basically did a team of 9 at Rugby. So we do the likes of data integration, consolidation, building data warehouses, BI reporting, developing some predictive models using this data in Microsoft Azure. Basically, Azure is our go-to technology for almost all of our solutions. So that's the long and short of it. And Olana is currently an MCT, but looking forward to upgrading soon. But yeah, that's about.
And that's great. Thank you. And I think we'll go with Franco. Franco, I believe you're having issues earlier, but we're glad to have you on board now. So, I mean, if you can give a bit of introduction about yourself, that would be great. Franco, can you hear me? Hello? Yeah, I think we're having some issues there. Okay. So, all right. Franco, can you hear me now? I think your mic probably is muted. Hello?
She's still at the backstage. You host need to let her in.
I think she's already on the screen, right? So she should be up on the screen now. All right, if there seems to be some technical difficulties there. All right, then what probably we'll do is, right, we will come to her again later. So what we'll do is, right, let's move on to Raphael. Raphael, can you give a bit of introduction about you so that the audience will get to know you?
Hi everyone, my name is Raphael, and hi everyone, my name is Raphael. It's the first time I'm coming to the show, and excited to be here. So my day-to-day work as engineer for a government security contractor. So a lot of the work is about provisioning cloud infrastructure and services. So like the emergency guy that they would call to spin up and make things Microsoft Azure. I also work with AWS and GCP. I'm happy and glad to be of service to you to answer your questions. Thank you.
Well, that's
Can you
great.
hear me?
Wonderful. Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. So I think I'll go to my to the next one. Probably I'll just pick myself up. All right, cool. So before we begin, let me just, yeah, it seems to be having some issues with this.
My network, you guys hear me? Should I
Yes, we
start
can hear you
again?
loud and clear. No, you're all good. We can hear loud and clear.
Okay, sorry, I was. Okay, this is Raphael. I work as a cloud engineer. So I'm like the bad guy in the infrastructure department. I speak cloud environments, and I also clean them up after the work is done. I use a lot of Microsoft Azure. I use GCP. I use AWS. Yeah, to answer your questions, good to be here. Thank you.
That's wonderful to have you on board as well. So what I'll do is I'll just move on to myself. So my name is Kofi Ade, and I'm currently a technical account manager for Sophos. So I work with their network and also endpoint and also cloud posture management too. So been in the IT industry for more than 10 years now, working with firewalls, endpoints, VMs, and also cloud technology as well. So if you do have any questions relating to these fields, I'm more than happy to obviously assist. Right. So what we will do now is that we will probably give a bit of introduction about our program. So I believe Olana already hit on that. So what we do here is to provide mentorship for anyone that is interested to get into the IT industry. Currently, IT is quite a booming industry at the moment, so it's a very good time for you to, get into it, run through your studies, and if you have any issues, you have mentors that can actually assist you in any kind of difficulties you might have. We've been in the industry for a while, and we've gained some experience, and also we've gone through a lot of trial and errors. So we want to ensure that when you are getting into the industry, we just want to make it as smooth as possible. So today we do have panelists that have a lot of these under their belt, these expertise under their belt, who are going to tell us their life stories, tell us how it's going to be. They're going to how the experience are through the process of getting into the industry. So without further ado, we will bring some of our panelists on the board. We already have some of them here. So I'll first of all go to Falarin. Falarin, can you give a bit of information about yourself, please?
Yeah, so thank you very much. My name is Ayodeji Folarin. I'm a Microsoft certified trainer and also Microsoft most valued professional on data platform. So, and also a managing partner at Jire Computers, where we deal majorly with training and implementation of data warehouse, NEBI solution. So, and also I am actually let me say, the founder or coordinator of some user group. Formerly, we have a user group called Naija Power BI, but today the name has changed to Naija Data Platform, where we deal in things, anything that has to do, any data related thing, from data science to data engineering to data analysis to data analytics majorly. So that. And what else do you want to know about me? I'm passionate about training, and I love doing what I love playing computer game anytime I'm less busy. Thank you.
Thank you. Wonderful to have you on board. So I'll move on to the next, which is Rashid. So Rashid, nice to have you on board. Can you give an introduction, please?
Okay, thank you everyone. My name is Rashid, and Oguniran. I count it a great privilege to be on this roundtable discussion, panel discussion with my mentor, Mr. Ayodeji Folarin. For me, today is very significant because it changed the trajectory for me. I've been with supply chain company. We provide total outbound solution, and basically we major on haulage, warehousing, and redistribution. So I've had the operation in Kwara State,
Okay.
Kaduna, Ijebu. I've taught all over, almost all states in Nigeria because it's a job that takes you around. But I found myself in data analytics journey during COVID-19. Everywhere was shut down, and I just want to learn digital tools.
But
And again, I
one
remember
of
there
us.
was a job I was on the verge of getting sometimes ago, and when we got to fourth stage, I was disqualified because of my knowledge of Excel, and I got angry. I have all the qualification, I have the experience, but they said they cannot continue. And I now decide what is all about this Excel. I start digging deep. From there, I joined Lentor. It was during one of the com training Lentor that I met Mr. Ayodeji Folarin, and during the mentoring session, I just he talked to me for just like about 10-15 minutes, and the whole thing about me changed. And I know that okay, data analytics is the way to go. I signed on in one of his trainings, and I got certified. And from there, I moved on to MSBI solution. Now I can manage data warehouse. I've been on intern with Gyre, participate in some of their projects. So it has been a roller coaster journey because data analysis is what I want to do, and I'm giving my best to it. I equally volunteer for Niger Data Platform. I'm one of the key back end guys, managing the whole project. It has been a challenging one using different tools like StreamYard, moderating and stuff. So it has been very interesting, and I can say that I'm the youngest here because I'm very new in this journey. But I can tell you, check me out in the next 1-2 years, and you see what will happen. Thank you so much, and I'm happy that you are having me here. Thank you.
Wow, it's been wonderful to hear from you. I mean, I can see the vibe is really on point. So thank you for joining us. So I think Franca audio is back on. So Franca, can you the floor is up to you now. Can you give us an introduction about your role and other things you've been doing?
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can. Yeah.
Hello. Oh, okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Franca, certified trainer. I'm also a Microsoft data analyst. I major on training. I do a lot of training, and I do implementations too. I'm also an IT consultant and coach. Okay, I currently have a BSc computer science. That's what I hold. I did computer science. So I'm in the field I studied actually. And I'm proficient in leveraging data to make informed decisions. I transitioned from tech careers. I transition people. I train people, on tech careers, people that want to change, transition to tech careers and get certified. I am a team player.
Okay, so it seems that we have lost Franco. So what we will do is, we probably will start with today's session. So what probably I'll do is, I think I will get Ulana and Raphael in the mix as well. We have said David and also said Sheyi at the background as well. So they all will chip in. So what first of all we'll do is that we do have a video that we want to play, and we're going to ask the questions in regards to the video. So just going to bring that video up now, and then we can talk about it later. Actually, I think probably have to play directly from here. So just bear with me 1 second. So I'm just going to play the video now.
I'd like to tell you a story of the artist and the apprentice. Now, once upon a time in a far, far away land, long, long ago, there was a little boy who was taken to the master painter in the whole land. He was the best that you could find anywhere. And over the years, this boy started to develop amazing skills at drawing spectacular pieces. Then one day, the master invited him, and he told him, "Young man, I have finished teaching you everything I possibly can. It's time for you to go out into the real world." And the boy looked a bit puzzled, and he said, "But how do I know if I'm that good?" So he asked the young apprentice to get a canvas and paint his most spectacular masterpiece and bring it to him. And so the young apprentice did just that. It took him several days, but he made the most beautiful piece of art you have ever seen. And he brought it to his master. The master asked him to get an easel and take his canvas to the marketplace. However, he should take a paintbrush and black paint, as well as a cardboard where he would write certain key instructions. So the boy took it to the entrance of the marketplace. He set up the easel, put the beautiful masterpiece up on display for everyone to see, and then set the paint and paintbrush next to it. And then he created this message. He was told by his master to write down, "If you see anything wrong, or if you dislike any part of this work of art, put a black dot on it." At the end of the day, the young apprentice went back to the marketplace, and to his shock and dismay, the entire piece was covered in black. He was demoralized. He was dismayed. He was so deflated. So he took the piece back to the master and was actually in tears. He said, "They hate my work. I'm not that good." He told him to calm down and gave him the same set of instructions again, to go and paint another spectacular piece. After a few days, reluctantly, the young apprentice did just that. And when he brought it back, it was just as beautiful as the first piece. So he took it once again to the marketplace as he was instructed to do. However, this time around, he was told to take white paint and a paintbrush, and what he was to write on the note was, "If you like any part of this painting, put a white dot on it." At the end of the day, he went back, and to his shock and disbelief, the entire painting was white. He was so excited. However, he was a bit puzzled. So he took it back to the master painter, and he said, "I don't understand. Some really like it, and some really hate it." He then asked him to do one more assignment. He said, "Go once more and paint another beautiful masterpiece just like the other two." And the boy did. When he brought it back, he now asked him to get a blank canvas and a second easel. He told him to take it to the entrance of the marketplace and take a paintbrush as well as the whole mix of paints that were used to create that piece. And the young apprentice did just that. This time around, the instruction was, "If you don't like any part of this work of art, please create your own on the blank canvas." And at the end of the day, the young apprentice came back, and he was quite surprised because his masterpiece was intact and the canvas he brought was totally blank, just the way he left it. So he went back to his master, and he says, "I'm a bit confused. I took it, however, no one seemed to be able to replicate what I had done." He said, "Son, I want you to remember this. In life, there are people who will love what you do, and there are people who will hate what you do. There are people who would love the service you offer, and there will be people who will hate what you have to offer. However, if you are authentic, and if you make sure each and every time in all your interactions, in everything you do, you produce your best masterpiece, then you have nothing to worry about. Remember this, those who do hate and criticize your work most likely won't be able to replicate what you do. So focus on creating your best masterpiece each and every time. The truth of the matter is, for many of us, some will hate what we do, some will love what we do. However, if we are focused, if we always ask ourselves certain key questions, is what I'm doing the right thing? Am I making an impact? Is it valuable to society? Am I uplifting even one person? Is my intention authentic? Am I passionate about what I'm doing? And am I growing? You see, the world we live in today requires more from us than what we studied. Sometimes our paper qualifications don't actually matter. Have you ever stopped to think about what makes you special? What makes you different? You are the sum of your experiences, and you are different. And our gifts may seem the same as others. However, we all have that extra something, that extra ability to be the master of that particular thing. So be.
All right. Thank you. Actually, before I go on, I do apologize for the quality of the video. We didn't know it was going to show up in that sort of format, but we do sincerely apologize. But the key is the message. So for the audience, the message is the key. We're going to start the panel discussion. So we welcome you to ask any questions as well. So if you do have any questions, do not hesitate. Just post into Twitch or YouTube, and then our audience will be able to answer those questions as well. Right. But before we begin, I want to ask a question. I think we've going to ask the questions in a specific format. The first question will actually go to Deji. So I'm just going to bring up the first question up, and then we'll start the process. So all our audience will actually get into the questions as well. Olana, even said David, said Shei, all of them will actually get in as well to help out. Now let's just start the process. So the first question goes to Deji. So Deji, can you tell us your story? How did you get to where you are now, and where did you start?
Okay. Well, first and foremost, I studied computer science in school, and it was actually through the hard way. When I say hard way, we don't really have anybody we can actually go to assist us. In fact, the school I went to, my set is actually the very first set of computer science in that school. So we don't have anybody ahead of us. And number two, we just have to keep our head afloat, and we have to wade through the storm. And at the end of the day, we came out strong. And today, we have to challenge ourselves. I told myself, if I have anybody that will pass through the same route, I'm going to give them the maximum support so that at least they can be up and running almost immediately. And I can guide them. The challenges we face, they should not face the same thing. So majorly, my background has been IT. We started, it was not too nice, it was rough. And today, we are still in the industry, in the field, but we don't have any option than to help the young and the growing ones. Thank you.
Thank you. I do like your answer. I mean, the maximum help you give to others. You don't want them to actually also start from where you begin. I mean, it's like a father to a son. When you've reached certain level in life, you want to ensure that you pass those knowledge to your child so that they don't start from square one. You want them to start from where you left off. So because every life experience, it actually improve our lives, and providing that to our child, that means they are more likely to go further than we did. So I like the fact that,
Exactly.
yeah. So I do appreciate that you obviously have that sort of like uh, um I mean encouraging sort of story that people will obviously resonate with, because I believe many people on this panel share the same sentiment. They are here to provide mentorship, to ensure that what we've gone through, the struggle we've gone through, I mean, it's pointless for people to repeat the same thing. If we can provide them better guidance so that they don't make the same mistake as we did, right? So what we will do is, right, we will shift to Olana to ask the second question. So Olana, I'll
Yeah.
leave you to do the rest of the present. I mean, ask the
Okay,
rest of
so,
it.
so,
Yeah.
so I think this question is great for Rashid. When I got to hear about his story that he talked about. So when we strive, when we make a lot of efforts to achieve something, I would say there are more challenges and blockers than motivations, right? So Rashid, I want to know if there was, at any point, if you feared you were going to fail, or maybe you're not good enough because of, what people say, or the blockers, or whatever challenges that you must have faced. Was there a time you felt you were going to fail, like, oh, I'm not good enough to get this done?
Yeah, thank you, Olana. This is an amazing question. You're right. I remembered when we finished our training with Jari Computer, and we need to write the exam. Yeah, we are like about 5 or 6 together with Madam Franca. We start treating the question. We are not just getting it. We start treating, we are not getting it. And at the end of the day, we all of us read, we cram, and we passed the exam. We are so happy. Oh, certified data analyst. When we now get to labor market, we now discover that it goes beyond that. Passing an exam is quite different from understanding the nitty-gritty of what is obtainable in those subjects. We have to go back to drawing board. We met Mr. DJ again. Lord, our Lord, we are back. We search everywhere. People are requesting for SQL, MSBI, and it designed something for us. It take us through it. So yeah, it was very challenging. It's not that rosy, but the more, all you need to do is to have what we call self-discovery. Know what you want for yourself. For me, I know that I've been working in a logistic company for 15 years, and I know that one day I will be out of that place. I need something that I can live with. And that was why I have tried as much as possible to put all my energy. As we speak, in my place of work, I have a young community of Power BI class. I put my colleagues together, about 30. We do a virtual session. I teach them Power BI. I impact, although it's just a free class, but for me, I'm equipping my person, because I've seen that when you have to transfer knowledge, you tend to know more. And for me, it has been very, very, it makes the life very easy. Currently, I'm exploring Microsoft Dynamics 365, because as a supply chain professional, everything we do in supply chain is in this learning path. And I feel that I will be a better person, going deeper into Dynamics 365 supply chain management. So it has not been easy, but if you have that self-conviction that you will surely will. Thank you.
All right, great. So I see it was really, really challenging for you to transition into a data professional. So great then. I hope a lot of people are going to be inspired by your story and see that transitioning is very, very possible at whatever level. Either you're a junior, intermediate, or even you're a senior level in your current career. You can basically just transition into tech, and it's really smooth. All right, thank you so much, Rashid. I think we're just going to move to to the next question. Hi, David, are you there?
Hello, yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think that the person that we want to ask the next question to, the network connection dropped. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to question number 4. So Kofi can help us to question number 4, and then we're going to ask that question to Mrs. Franca. So let's go. So Mrs. Franca, can you hear me? Are you able to hear me? Just to confirm that your mic is good.
Yes, I can hear you.
Awesome.
Okay, that's great.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Yes. Awesome. So, Kofi, do you want to go ahead, sorry, for the question?
Yeah, sure, we'll do so. So, Franca, welcome back again. So, I mean, you've been in the industry for quite some time now. So, what is the best methodology for dealing with negative sentiments? I believe these are certain things that we will face, whether you like it or not. It's not always going to be smiley faces. So you probably will get people that will have these kind of like negative sentiments. What is the methodology that you use in terms of dealing with such situations?
Okay, thank you, Kofi. Yeah, for me, I'll say that you should believe in yourself. Always believe in yourself. Yeah, dealing with negative criticisms, whether you're good or you're bad, you'll have people criticizing you negatively. But it's also good to listen to them because you have constructive criticisms. We shouldn't take all criticisms as negative because you have some constructive ones, but be your best all the time. And I have this saying all the time. I always tell people that if you think you can, then you can. If you think you can't, then you can't. Either way, you are right. So it's good to do your best and leave the rest. Put in your best at any point in time. Make sure that, when you listen to the criticisms, because even if with these negative criticisms, it tends to push you to do better than what you're doing. Yeah, we should be focused. And once we are passionate about what we're doing, we shouldn't listen to, because some people would criticize you just to bring you down, but we shouldn't listen to such people. Yeah, we know ourselves, know yourself. And there's also this 2-letter 10 words. I always say, if it is to be, it is up to me. So it's up to me, it's up to you. If to succeed, it's up to you. It's you are in charge. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for that wonderful answer.
Yeah.
I believe, you said you hit a nail on the head. Most often these things will come, but you have to look at the positive. So wherever the criticism is, just probably look into it and see where you can gain some positivity out of it. I mean, is there anything that you can improve in the process? Like you said, there will be ones that probably you can use to help yourself in the process. I mean, if the ones that have no value, probably you just have to obviously maybe use this as probably an energy to push yourself, propel yourself forward, or you can just simply ignore it. So what we will do is we'll move on to the next question. So I believe Olana, I think it's up to you now. So I'll bring Olana back on the screen, and then I'll bring up the next question.
All right. So I think let me just speak briefly on what Franca said. I think she said one thing that really caught my attention. If you think you can, you can, and if you think you can't, then you cannot. So everything basically just depends on you. So you shouldn't really let people bring you down, right? I wasn't critical. I mean, really negative report positive, and work with it. Okay. So hi Deji, welcome back. Do you think where you are currently you would be? I know right now you are managing partner actors. 5-10 years ago, there was a plan to be managing partner at Jerry Computers, or did you have some other plan? Did Jerry Computers just happen? Are you where you would be 5-10 years back?
Okay, thank you very much, Olana. When we're in
your question has a
school,
part A and a part B. So first,
okay, so how did you manage to stay on track? Okay, so number one, when we started, when we're in school, I told my colleagues back then in school that, look, immediately after graduation, I'm going to start up a company. Everybody look at it that, no, that's not a wise thing to do. You can't just start, you have to grow. And sincerely, I started the company, Jerry Computers, as far back as 1997. It was registered. And since 1997 till today, I must confess, this journey is not that easy at first. So I got to understand what my colleagues were talking about. But thank God, I still stayed focused and I'm still there. Some of them will still come back to me. You mean you are still in this company you started since then? Yes, I'm still there. And it's much better now. It's much easier. And to be an expert in something, there is no way you will keep doing something all the time. You will always look for a way you can improve on it. I've been on this journey 1997 till date is about 25 years. So I've been on this and I've been doing this continuously. Yeah, you said what?
I said absolutely. 25 years is a long time.
Okay, good. So 25 years doing something, I'm trying to improve on it. To improve on it, definitely you get better. Now, how did you manage to stay on track? Number one, we have a focus. I have where I'm going to. So all I'm trying to do is to get to where I'm going to. I told myself I used to be a software developer. I want to have some solid software out there. And I started well. The software started rolling out. And later I felt, no, that's not where I'm supposed to be. Why not go into data analytics and stay there? And I moved there and I so much enjoyed it. And I was born a teacher. I love impacting knowledge. So why not help the younger ones? And since then, I've been into training as well. Until today, I've been on the same path and I keep improving on what we do. Just like in those days, we use a tool called Super Calculator, Supercar. Later, we moved to Microsoft, not Microsoft, Excel, Lotus 123. We're using Lotus 123 at it. And later, we moved to Microsoft Excel. Now we are using tools like Power BI. It's still the same part, but we keep doing things and we keep improving. We keep embracing the new technology and we also try to be at the top of our career. So all what I do is I have a focus. I know where I'm going. I've gotten there. And if there's a new technology, I don't stay in my comfort zone. I try to move a step higher. And if tomorrow there's a new technology out there, I still want to learn. Because the day I tell myself I'm okay, that's the day I will start to die. So for now, I'm still alive. Maybe the next couple of years I can retire, but for now, I'm still active. Bring out a new technology tomorrow. I still want to be up there and afloat. I will get it up and running, study it, be on track, and make sure I'm also at the peak of my career path. Thank you. It's all about focus, determination, and get your mind up and running. Left and right, they will tell you, my parents told me, no, this is not the right thing to do. But today is now a story. But if I've got distracted at the beginning, I would definitely not be where I am today. Thank you, Anna.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much, DJ. I think one thing I got from your response is the progression, always trying to keep up with advancements, technology, improvement from Lotus to Excel to Power BI. You didn't just stay comfortable with Excel and say, no, 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 Excel is the in thing, Excel is the god of all analytics and let me stick. You moved, even when Power BI wasn't out there. A lot of people didn't know about it. I mean, I've known you for a while, and I know even before I knew about Power BI, you were doing great things with it. So you didn't just stick to one thing; you basically just move as technology progresses. So I want to believe that is a really good strategy, and that is how you've been able to, stay on track all through the years that you've achieved where you are so far. So thank you so much, Eddie, for sharing these insights with us. So I think next we're going to, bring the panelists because. We do have a question from the audience that we want our panelists to basically speak on.
All right. So yeah, we do have a question, and I think with this question, we're just going to throw it out there for everyone to answer. Kule from on YouTube dropped this question. Is how do you handle imposter syndrome if you are new in the industry? So this is to everyone, so anyone can actually start. So who will go first? Well, if no one is going, then probably I will say ladies first, as always. So try and narrow it down a bit. So Olana, Franca, the ball is in your court.
Okay, so I think that's actually a really great question because if I was to look at it, how would you handle imposter syndrome if you're new in the industry? I remember when I started off, I more or less started off as I started learning big data and I did a lot around databases, integration, and all of that. Then I just had to jump into Power BI because that is one of the top things that was requested by most of us. And when you're in IT consulting, thing is you get to move around a lot. Today you're doing BI reporting. Tomorrow you're building a warehousing. Next tomorrow the customer wants a model, and you have to bring your Python game on point, and you have to really support other people. So when you talk about imposter syndrome, the thing is you get to grow really quick, and sometimes you are amazed at how far you have come in a really short period because you are. Okay, so there was this thing I saw recently on social media. They said when a jack of all trade, master of none, right? And people always perceive this as a bad thing. They are always negative light. And recently, I think I saw the entire quote that says, "Jack of all trade, master of none, but better than a master of one." Right? So I think that is what IT consulting does to you. Yes, a master of none, but you're actually better than someone who is a master of none. I was amazed at how far I had grown in a really short period. In a period of 6 months, 1 year, I was doing a lot around the data space. And sometimes I get to be like, oh, is this me? Am I really here? Am I no longer an associate? Am I now a data consultant, no longer an associate? Oh, currently I'm a senior consultant. Should I be a senior consultant within a period of 2 years, 3 years? Is this something that I should be happy about? A lot of take some time, a really long time, maybe 10 years to even be senior consultants, right? So I mean that is imposter syndrome. And one thing you should know is that, or one thing you should always consider, look around your space. Look around people who are doing similar things as you. How much have you been able to contribute? All of the, I don't want to say all of the certifications, but yeah, look at all of the certifications that you have. Look at all of the customers that you support. Look at all of the projects that you have successfully implemented. All of the solutions that you've built is currently out there running in production environments. then I think you should be proud of yourself. You shouldn't let the imposter syndrome, put you down. That is how I basically deal with it when I go to the point where I feel like, oh, at this point I shouldn't be a senior because it's just like 3 years already. Why am I crying in this position? But when I look back at all the things I have done, or the projects I've implemented, or the customer I currently support, I mean, why not? So basically, I just believe that is the way you can basically deal with it. And you're a master of, okay, no, maybe not a master of a lot, but you're a master of none. But yeah, you're a jack of a lot of trade. And I think that you should be really proud of.
All right, thank you, Olana. Yeah, that's a wonderful one that you actually put out there. You always have to. One of the things you said is that you don't just stick to one thing. You move on as technology progresses. I mean, nowadays technology is actually moving at a breakneck pace. Every day there are new things coming. So you're definitely going to be in a room and probably they were talking about something and you haven't catch up to the new trend and you probably wonder what's going on. So I'll throw it back to the audience. So since we got Olana to answer, talked about this, we probably will go to Deji. Deji, can you give us an input on this?
Can I go before Mr. DG?
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, please go.
Okay, so before Mr. DG will go, I think I will come from the angle that for anything that we're doing, imposter syndrome will come. And I'm going to answer this question with a scenario. There was a day I was in a meeting with my MD. It's a family meeting, senior managers are there. And so somebody asked a question in that meeting, and the guy was concerned. He said, what is our business direction? What is our strategy? Embracing impact of data analytics in our reporting, because the package we currently use has to do with what we call ELM, Enterprise Logistics Manager, which is totally different from what is obtainable out there. So the MD responded by telling the person that asked the question that they've not embraced it because on most cases there is always a problem of validating the data that are being reported, and that caused a lot of delay. And I responded in that question. I suggested that, look, I'm a student of MSBI, and the way we solved the projects during that training was when we created a data warehouse, and that data warehouse, we moved our data into that warehouse. So all of us are picking our information from single source of truth. So if you are in HR, you need an information concerning HR, go to data warehouse, pick your information. If you are from IT, go there and pick. So when you are picking from single source of truth, so the issue of validating your data repeatedly won't need to happen. And you know what happened? I was shut down by our IT manager. The reason is because he does not even have understanding of what data warehouse is all about. And that was how that suggestion died up to today. But what has it done to me? It has helped me to even continue to work stronger and learn more. So for me, my advice, when you face yourself in this kind of quagmire, all you need to do is look for where your knowledge will be appreciated, where your knowledge is needed. Yeah, they are backward. They don't know what you are doing. They don't have an understanding, because in that meeting, I have to be educating the MD himself what data warehouse is, how enterprise solution functions, because it's totally different from what we use. What we do in my organization, we extract information from cloud and use Excel to do our reporting. But I'm telling them that as big as my company is, if we embrace enterprise solution, it's more effective and more efficient. But they did not buy into it because they don't know it. So you need to just be convinced in what you are doing and be good at what you do. From there, you'll be able to, provide the right answer or solution to wherever you are. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, that's been a wonderful one. You just have to stick with what you know, and then you provide that knowledge to people. Because in a room, I mean, most companies will have different people with different skill sets. So you just stick to the one that you know, and then be true to yourself. Essentially, self-identity is important. All right. So, Deji, I think we got
Yeah.
Frank off the screen. So, Deji, it's up to you now.
Okay. So, well, what I will just say, Rashid has actually said it all. One thing I would like to tell people is this. Number one, believe in yourself. I have, despite the fact that I'm an MVP, I'm an MCT, I have been in some business meeting, and when we are discussing, I have seen the behavior of several IT, small, medium scale organization. The IT person will want to prove too much, and during discussion, you will see them telling you, no, this. And what I always do is to keep quiet. To the extent that I was in a meeting and they brought in the new IT guy, and I understand what he was trying to do. Anything I say, he will just try to tell them, no, you can do this. And I look at myself. So this guy can do all this. I mentioned website, oh, I can do it. We mentioned, oh, I can get. I look at the guy and I kept quiet. So if this guy can do all, then let him go ahead. Okay, if we're not going to do all this for you, let's walk around your training. Let's train our staff. Oh, we don't need a training. Even if you need a training, you can train them. I said, well, the reason why you should get a training from us, because we are Microsoft certified trainer. He said he's also an MCT. He's also a Microsoft certified trainer. I now looked at him. Okay, the next question is, well, I am an MVP on data platform. I can add one or two more value. The next thing is, he's also an MVP. I told myself, this guy, don't allow me start to tell you all the MVPs we have in Nigeria. As at that time, we're just 6, and I know all of them. So even the MCT community, you are not part. But the MD is on seat. I just have to keep quiet, just as if I don't know. So the MD was so happy. Wow, the IT manager is good, is everything. At the end of the day, because we did a demo for the MD, and he felt, wow, this thing you've done is wonderful. Let me allow these guys come in and listen to you. And this guy, the way he actually washed us down, I felt, well, that's all. Let's let it go. But funny enough, because if we decide to take things out like that, it's not too good. It's like, well, we are all IT people, we are all the same community. We still meet and discuss more. So just let the living dog lie. But later, something actually happened. I was shocked when the same company invited us again and said, wow, you know what? All those things you mentioned that time, please come and do it. What of this guy? We've actually have to let him go. It's as if he does not really know what he's doing. So guys, just believe in yourself. Understand what you do. Get out there. Keep doing it. And keep getting better in what you do. Study more. Get to the peak of your career. You definitely meet people here and there. Don't allow anything that happen out there. Please just push it to one side. That is all.
That's right. Absolutely. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head again. I mean, it's always going to happen. You'll be in a room where someone probably will try to take the shine for no reason. Even you're not even asking for more. You're trying to collaborate, but they just want to take everything, to put too much on the table they can handle. Right? They're just digging a hole for themselves in the process. But yeah, so you really hit it the nail on the head right there. All right, so I think we got Sir David coming on, and I believe Sir David, are you going to chip in, or you want to move on to the next question?
I think that what you said, I think what everyone has said has been perfect on that. So it's one of those things to recognize. It happens to everyone. Everyone, when you start something, you always feel inadequate. Right? You always feel, I'm not that. I mean, I can still remember, like, very quickly, Sakofi remember, like, when we started looking at Azure, it was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, you know, what exactly is all of this? And now it's like, you know, it's normal, right? It's one of those. And another thing to also know is that you're dealing with that. Not that everyone deals with it. Even the people that we think are masters, they all deal with it. So, Kofi and myself, one of the things that we talk about is we talk about people, you know, that we hear about, like, oh, this is senior DevOps, blah, 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 senior architects, blah, blah, blah. And then when we interact with them, we're like, actually, you know what? We're not that bad, you know. We're like, we're not that bad, you know, even though we're not senior, this. No,
Yeah,
even
you
though
know.
yeah, even though I'm not senior, Sakobi is senior, but, you know, even though I'm not senior, we're like, so it's one of the things, recognize that everybody goes through it. Everyone is constantly learning, like what Mr. Sheyi said. We're all in different stages of learning. So it's one of those things that, you know, you always take feedback, go back, get better, come back, but it's still something that, you know, you always feel that inadequacy and everything. So it's just, I think it's also a way for us to just keep ourselves motivated to know that there's always something to learn and everything.
That's true.
Okay. So I think I have a question for Mr. Rashid. I'm not sure if Mr. Rashid is there. Well, otherwise, we can also bring Mr. Sheyi on screen. Oh, we got Franca also. So maybe we can get Mr. Sheyi and Franca to address this next question. That's question number 6, I think.
Yeah.
And question number 6 is, so what would you say is the best decision you made in your career? So if I let Mr. Sheyi address that, and also Franca, if you want to chip in on that, that would be awesome. So please go ahead with that.
Well, the best decision I have made in my career is to follow my passion. My background was actually in engineering. I studied electronics and telecommunication engineering, and I started diving into it because of the electronic aspect of it, where I want to build a radio station. I want to, but when I now got to know about computer, and it's as if there was diversion in my mind. I'm going for a course. I'm doing a course. Meanwhile, my mind is going to another field. You know, I just took that decision at the age of leaving college, that I am going to go for an apprenticeship. I really want to know about this career path. That's the IT, the computing. And I spoke to the HOD of the computer engineering department. Apparently, he has an institution outside the school. And I said, sir, can I be your apprentice for the next 6 months till we graduate? And the guy looked at me because he's one of our course lecturer, and he said, no problem, if you can take it on. I said, no problem. So what I now begin to juggle between my schoolwork and my passion. But I can assure you, when you have a driven passion about something, there's nothing that will stop you from emerging. Now, when I went into this solution, I noticed I was diving deeper into the computer side, to the extent that sometimes I leave the institute around 10 p.m., 11 p.m. in the night or 9 after school. And what did I do? I go to help in Microsoft Word. Then my
Oh, Mr. She's network connection dropped right there. But wow. I mean, the points that he's made so far has been it's been powerful. You know, best decision, follow my passion. And I think the next thing that he said was not only following his passion, he also sought out advice and sought apprenticeship even while in school. And then he made this powerful statement that you have on the screen. When you have a passion about something, there's nothing that can stop you. Mrs. Franca, right? What's your thoughts on that? What would you say is your own best decision in your career in terms of what has led you to where you are today? So if you can please address that. Well, your mic is muted, I think. So if you check your mic and make sure that it's unmuted. So we can see your face, but we can't hear your voice yet, Mrs. Franca. Hello. Oh, I think network connection network connection is like an issue, so I don't think that we can hear both Mr. Sheyi and Mrs. Franka. Okay, so in the interest of time, I think we can go to the next question, which I'll bring maybe Olana out to ask Mr. Rashid. Mr. Rashid there? Mr. Rashid, are you there? Hello, Mr. Rashid, are you there? Awesome.
Yes,
okay, so I think no problem here. I think that we can go to question number 7 now. So if Olana wants to ask that to Mr. Rashid.
Okay, so I think the 7th question is around building strategic relationship. So Rashid, you kind of transitioned from a formal role into an IT role, right? And there's something really striking that you mentioned when he was speaking and when he was giving the scenario. He said, oh, he had to keep quiet most of the time when they were having that conversation, when the IT manager kept saying, oh, I know this, I know that. So he couldn't just come forward and say, oh, it's not the way you're seeing it, or no, it's not that way, because we are IT people, we get to meet ourselves outside this work environment. And we might even work in a organization or might partner tomorrow to deliver a certain project. So that's quote and unquote, we are IT people. We know ourselves and we meet in different places. It brings us to this question around strategic relationship. How do you identify people that you need to build the strategic relationship with to push your career forward?
Thank you so much for that question. Mr. Deji has already set a standard. It happens everywhere. Even for me too, where I'm currently working, it's happening. And when you suggest something or you contribute something that can help the business, the IT people wants to take it over. They want to be in charge of everything. But we can't exist in isolation. We still need to work together. And so, because for instance, I provide a solution on Power Automate, for my organization, and I wouldn't have been able to showcase what I have without their support. So for me, you just have to develop yourself more as a person in the area of establishing good working relationship. You can have the best idea and the best knowledge with good intention. If it is not well presented, the people can still shoot it down and it will amount to nothing. So you need to really look for people that truly believes in you, people that their value system aligns with your person. Just like when I met Mr. Deji, what made me know that yes, this is the man I should follow. I'm not supposed to be where I am today, because if not for him, because I'm currently working with a logistics company, and my role as an operations support, I work as a facility manager, and it's a very demanding job. But for me, I know that technically I'm just doing that job aside. What I really want to do is data analytics, and he has been providing support. So for me, Mr. Deji is a strategic partner to me, and I want to believe that he has seen some virtue in me that I'm not seeing. That was what made him upgrade me and put me in charge of some of his community that he has created to spearhead it, so that it will allow him to move and do some other things. That is strategic. That is building strategic partnership. So you need to identify people that really shares your vision, your value system, and people that really appreciate the kind of skill sets and the value that you want to bring to the table. Then you will be able to, fly higher in all your choosing area of choosing field rather. So that is my take. Thank you, Olana.
Thank you so much, Rashid. Just to add to that, right? So I think strategic relationship is very important in every aspect of life, but most importantly, in tech, it is important. this, like we've known, and it has been pointed out severally in the course of our conversation, it keeps evolving and you have to keep learning. And there is a lot of things that, that connects together. If you're a data professional and you're working on, let's say, a BI solution, whether it's on premises or in the cloud, sometimes you would probably need an infrastructure guide to help you set up something, some network connectivity, some firewall that's not working. So this strategic relationship absolutely helps you with all of that. And when you get to work on projects, in most of the time you really cannot, it's possible, and one individual, it's pretty difficult for one individual to implement a solution end to end without having to ask for assist for maybe a friend, a partner, or a colleague at work. So building that community, building that strategic relationship will basically always make things really easy for you when you're in tech. You always have people you trust and they have this knowledge, they have this experience, and you can always call upon them to help resolve issues, troubleshoot, or just do, peer review to improve your process or to improve whatever you're working on. So strategic relationship, especially in tech, is really, really important if you would want to, keep moving up. So thank you so much, Rashid, for an amazing contribution.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Right, welcome back. So we're going to give our audience another opportunity to see if there's any questions available from our viewers. So at the moment, I'm just checking the chat now. There's nothing. So if you're watching the program, if you do have any questions, I would say this is the time you can actually ask, because we are about to wrap up. So since there's no question, we move back to the next question. I believe the next question is so David. Oh, okay, I'm the next question. All right. So I'm just going to bring up the next question on the screen. One moment. I think it said David. So David, you are taking the next question. Is that correct?
Oh, hello, sir. I think that we're doing the final question now. So that will be from you to Mr. David.
Oh, okay. All
so
right.
That'll be question number 10.
Number 10. Okay, let's move on to question number 10. All right. So question number 10. All right. Should people always try to marry their paper qualification with what they do? So what do you guys think? I mean, I believe most of the things we do, sometimes people are trying to move to probably a different industry, and the paper qualification might not be in sort of like in line with what you're doing. So do you think in that process, people should probably try to move to the field that will match their qualification, or even if they are in a different field, they probably have to get some qualification that relates to whatever they're doing?
Okay, so can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Well, one thing I would say is this: paper qualification and passion, they are two different things. Remember what she said when he was presenting. He tend to move towards his passion, comparing that with the career, what is actually studying in school. Now, if you are so much tied to paper qualification, you may not excel in life. If you look at it from a little research that I have done, most of the people that went to the university and they graduated with first class, 2-1, they tend to tie themselves up with that paper qualification. But those that came up with very low grade, it's like they come out there and feel, look, nobody wants to employ me. Let me think outside the box. Let me do what somebody has not.
Yeah, I think we're having some issues from Deji's side. It looks like he's currently offline. So, Shay, do you want to carry on? Do you have any thing to share in regards to question number 10? Oh, I think Deji is back online. Deji, can you hear us?
Okay. Yes, I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, you can go ahead, please.
Okay. So I'm just trying to lay a difference between paper qualification and your passion. Most people out there with nice certificates, nice qualification in school, they are being tied down with that qualification and the certificates. They are on the streets looking for a place to work. Those that came out with very bad qualification, they are trying to be creative. And at the end of the day, they will end up employing those with paper qualification. So all what I have to say here is this: let your passion, let idea drive you. Don't get stuck with what you have on the paper. You already have a qualification, but you have a drive to solve a problem. People pay you for the solution you've been able to provide, not the certificate you are holding. There's a shift in the industry and in the world today. What can you do is not what you have on your certificate. Thank you.
Absolutely. I mean, nowadays, the way things are, it's all about your experience really count. Especially in UK, they seem to like that a lot. It's all about what you can actually really do. So I think experience is a key element. And I mean, like you rightly said, sometimes when you get a first degree or you get 2-1, you rely on that too much, and you forget to really start to get your hands dirty by learning new skills, and also getting yourself into a profession that will probably help you. I mean, we need to understand that the way things are going, learning is key, and we constantly have to find ways to improve ourselves. So, Shay, I will leave it to you to give us the last answer in regards to this. I think you got some issue with the audio. We cannot hear you. Shay, your audio still is a problem. We cannot hear you. Yeah, I think we are having issues with say Shay. So what we're going to do is we're going to move on to meet our audience. Sorry, meet our
I'm alone, I'm a broken home. I gave you
broken home. I gave you all the bricks that I own and know. I'm letting go. I'm breaking these walls down, breaking these walls down. If you want adventure, then fly to home. But if you want to travel, then go alone. Yeah, what's the point in us if I never know? Yeah, if you're gonna leave, I'ma let you go.
Okay, thank you guys for joining this session. So before we leave for today, one of the things we want you to be aware of, if you're not aware of it already, is our groups that we have. So we do have a lot of meetup group. We have a security group, as you can see here. You can actually join if you're into security. You can actually join that. And we have the WAPIC 2022 also coming up. So that'll be something that if you are, I think you should definitely join that program. So the other groups we have as well is that we do have the MCT NAIJA SQL. You can join that group. We also have the so that's the MCT NAIJA SQL. We have the MCT NAIJA, the Power BI group as well. What we can do is, we will share all these links below. We say it actually through YouTube. So in a chat, you see all the groups that you can actually join. So whichever sort of program that you're interested in, we do have a user group that you can actually be part of, right? We also have the D365 user group as well on WhatsApp, and also we have the Nigeria Azure user group, which I believe recently we did have an event which went extremely well, both online and also offline as well. So these user groups are something you can actually join to build your knowledge, and also there will be people that will help you in your journey to get into such programs. I mean, there are people that are, far more advanced. Some of them are working for Microsoft. Some have their own businesses. So there's a lot of people that are ready to help you in your journey to become certified or get into the IT industry. So once again, thank you for joining our program. And we are hoping that we will see you guys again next month. So we do have this session every month. So each month we have people that will come in and help mentor people through their journey into becoming certified or becoming an IT professional. So we also thank our audience for such a wonderful program, for being there to help others, to usher them into their journey into becoming a professional in Microsoft and other IT skills. So I think this is the end of the show for today. Thank you everyone for joining the program, the audience, and also our panelists. So once again, thank you. So Olana, do you have anything to add before we close the curtains?
Well, so yes, I'm going to thank everyone joining, and from our panelists, we say thank you. We've actually learned today. We've learned to focus, to get your mind up and running, what you want to do. Talked about dealing with imposters, dealing with criticism, how you can, repurpose negative criticism to work for you. We've so a lot of great comments from our guests today, and I'm sure this is something that myself and everyone out there who was listening in is going to put into good videos to be able to carry forward to the next level. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for and having us.
Thank you, and we'll see you next month. All right, bye for now.
Ọmọ ọba ni kò ṣẹrú, ó wá sáyé.